Perspectives, different views, one voice.
Welcome to the LDN Perspective podcast. My name is Kojo. I'm with my co-host Bruce, and we are with, I don't know, we need to stop calling them guests. They're just here all the time. They're part of the furniture. Guys, introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Mo. I'm involved in a lot of community work and youth projects, and I just wanted to be part of the conversation.
Hey London Perspective people, it's Kofi.
Hi, my name is Lilia and I am involved in youth work and HR and I'm happy to be here.
Cool. So I guess this conversation is really something that we haven't done before, in the sense that we're talking about, I guess the title of the conversation is That's Why I Don't Date Black Women. And I guess this is really coming from the perspective of some or the few black men out there that try to qualify the choices they've made regarding their relationships by then demeaning black women or passing some stereotypical views or off the wall views of black women to kind of qualify the decisions they made in their life. So I guess with this, we will then be looking more on social media to see some of these comments that have been passed and what we kind of think or our views on some of these comments. I feel like it's more prevalent for black women than it is for black men. Black men in this situation where like some of these things that affect black women do not affect us in the same way. And it's funny because I think a couple of months ago I was having a conversation with Sarah, Sarah that's been on.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that, in the UK, black men do not understand the struggle of the black woman. And I'm like, what struggle? What are you talking about? I literally said that, right? Because at that point, I was a bit ignorant to some of the stuff that were going on around me, because as a black man, I just thought about the black experience and that women also have that, black women will have that black experience. But then there is another level to it. There's the black woman experience and then there's the black man experience. So I feel like, yes, we could have that conversation on the black man experience, but I feel like the black woman experience is a bit more prevalent, or it's a bit more diverse in our communities than that. So maybe just to warm it up, I know you guys are a bit cold when we start conversations, man. So then it gets to a point where you guys want to fight. You see where it got to be? It was hilarious. When I got that, I see him going like, yeah, guys, calm down. So I've been speaking to one of my friends, and he's been sharing some posts with me regarding some of the comments that people are passing on social media. So there's been a few posts that he shared with me from Twitter, and I will just talk about one of them quickly just to start us off in the conversation. Okay, so this one is quite interesting. Yeah, it was posted. So this was posted on the 24th of October, and the caption was "Black women will never understand." And then when you look at the imagery, it shows 4 black men all with white women, right? So then the question is, why would someone put something like that out there, or what would they not understand? What is he trying to say in that respect?
It's very provoking, isn't it? Well, what I actually saw, I came across that as well, and what I understood from that, it was that as if to say that, this was the better sort of combination, a white girl with a black man rather than a black man and a black woman. What normally the conversation surrounding, interracial dating or black men dating black women, especially on Twitter, is normally not to just say, here is my wife and I'm in love with this, here is my girlfriend, I'm in love. It's usually, this is why I don't date black women, or I know my mom's black and I know my sister's black, but I don't date black women, it's just my preference kind of thing. So it's sort of to say, it's date who you are. My thing is date whoever you want, date a bloody park bench if you want to date do you know what I mean? But it becomes a problem when it's you're slandering black women, you're putting them down, they're ghetto, they've got attitude, they're not submissive, all these really stupid reasons you're justifying why you don't date black women, as if to say that there's something wrong with us, so therefore I have to go date outside of Norris, and that's where the problem actually becomes a problem.
Well, when I see something like that, that's nothing to do with black women to me. I just look at the individual, like, that's all you. That you've just pointed out your problem with whatever. Do you see what I mean? that I know that the intention of the person is to obviously direct it all to black women, but me personally, when I see that, I just feel that black women haven't said anything about what you feel like what's right in relationships. You just clearly got a hang up about black women. Do you see what I mean? And you want to get that out there, and you've used that picture to say that. Do you see what I mean? If you like white women and you feel that's you. Why did you? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The whole black woman part is irrelevant because they haven't come out in droves saying no white women shall be with our black men. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you could talk like that, but no one's doing that. You just want to do that because maybe black women or certain black women in his life have put him under pressure for dating outside his race. Do you understand? So clearly he wants to answer those women through that picture. Do you see what I mean? All in one. So the pressure got too much for him maybe, and he just said, all right, this is what black women, because I'm getting this question to myself all the time. Maybe they need to see this.
Yeah.
And he's done it like that. And it is what it is. That's him. But at the end of the day, yeah.
So,
I mean, for me, I'll be honest, maybe my standpoint might be really bad, but I think it's such a wild post that someone like me would probably just ignore it and look past it and not even give it any attention that it's trying to get. So I think the dangerous side of my view is more that I would kind of just dismiss it and not even think any more into it, just because I think it's so stupid and wild in that sense. It's dangerous in terms of how it will make other young, especially young black women feel in terms of insecurities and self-esteem. But then it's also dangerous in terms of the narrative that it's pushing out to other young black boys, as in, wow, is this something really cool to look up to in that sense? But I just think as well, at the same time, I really don't want to waste my time on such nonsense. You know, I've got other things to do, better things to do, and why the hell would I even bother to comment on something like that, or do you get what I mean, bash or hate? But then is that dangerous in my part that I'm not doing anything? I'm actually now allowing something like that to carry on or fuel or go on forward. So for me, it's more of a reflection on my part, as in what could I do in such a situation.
Okay. Want to coming off?
Yeah, sure. For me, I clearly believe it's clickbait. It's clearly posted to provoke something from, let's say, black women or just black people in general, because to be honest, no one cares if you date a white woman. You do you. You know what I mean? When a black man dates a black woman, he doesn't post it from the top of the hills, hey, I'm dating a black woman. He doesn't say white women will never understand, because no one cares. So therefore, when you're dating a white woman, good for you. Why do you feel you need to put it out to the masses? It's because you want a response. You clearly want black women to be like, oh, they're taking all our men or whatever. But really and truly, they don't care. You're only putting it out there to incense them.
Yeah, but then I guess devil's advocate is that they don't care. I think black women do care. Wait, just before you guys come in, because there are other posts. Like for instance, you have someone that posted. I'm not sure if everyone knows Tammy Abraham. Now he's a striker. Yeah, he plays for Chelsea. Okay. He's a really young black striker. And then they posted this, and the caption was Tammy Abraham scoring worldies on and off the pitch. You'd love to see it. And they're saying this by posting a white woman. The worldie that they're trying to say that he's scoring. Huh? She's an average woman. No, but I'm not disputing that she's not an average woman. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing the looks of
Tammy Abraham didn't post this.
Now, Tammy Abraham, someone has posted
about
scoring worldies on and off the pitch, right? And with them adds to this whole conversation where it's almost like the black people that are with white women, and I do understand what you're saying now, who cares? It's almost like some sort of trophy. It's almost like some sort of something pinnacle of you getting somewhere type of thing.
Okay, but then again, that I would say is society and media driven. It's not the day-to-day black man or black woman that's triggered by stuff like that. Only when you put it out there in the masses is when it becomes a problem, because you'll never see them saying Alex Song defending on the pitch, defending our black women, because he's married to a black woman. Do you know what I mean? It's all media perception and media driven. That's why people have a problem with it. If it was just his girlfriend and people saw him driving with his girlfriend, then it wouldn't be a problem. But then it's a thing where when black men.
What do you mean? If his girlfriend was black, or if girlfriend was
No,
black?
if his girlfriend was, say he has a white girlfriend now, yeah? If it was just his girlfriend and the media wasn't saying stuff like scoring worldies on and off the pitch.
But this is not a media. This is just from someone's account. This is just on
a
Twitter.
normal person's
This is
account.
just a normal person. This is a
media.
social media.
Yeah.
So this conversation is around social media and some of the imagery or the captions that keeps propagating this whole being with white is great. And
do you know what's weird about that? When Jermaine Defoe was going out with what's her name? The woman from X Factor.
Alexandra
Alexandra McQueen. Yeah, her, yeah. There weren't no one in the media saying, wow, he's got a hottie, even though she's a pretty woman. Do you get what I mean? So it's...
No, but I just mean your thing of qualifying media. When you say media, because normally people that listening, they will see this media as this established newspaper tabloid that's controlled and
then,
they push this agenda.
Social media.
Social media
a form of
No.
media.
So social media is a form of media, but social media, what we have to say now is it's the individual that are putting these things out. So we could say on one hand, the media has pushed this agenda so much that it's got into people's head and then they are pushing this out. Because what we're talking about now is from the individual perspective rather than the big media operation.
You know what? But social media nowadays is bigger than the media itself. Do you get what I mean? So it's a matter of social conditioning from back when that's now prevalent to this day. So even you saying that's not the media, that is the media in a sense, because that's bigger than media nowadays. Social media is the outlet for everything. Do you get what I mean? So social media now is what dictates, what drives everything. Social media will tell you get a white car. I guarantee most people will be driving a white car. So
I guess what I'm trying to say here, is that there is this agenda, there's all this idea that the media is controlled, so they put things out there that we want to consume. And the reason why I wanted to differentiate between the two for the listeners is that when we say media, what we mean by media. So if we qualify by saying social media, then it just makes people understand that this is viewpoint from individuals that are posting this. I'm not saying that it doesn't have an impact. I'm just saying that we just need to clarify what we mean when we say media.
Also, just go back to the question. I think the question is, it's quite straightforward. This is why I don't date black women. So we maybe need to, go deeper into the whys.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. So definitely we need to go into whys. But then I guess then the other question when you said that, do black women care? I feel like black women do care.
We definitely do not care. We don't care.
No.
We definitely don't care.
Go on,
don't care about what?
We don't care.
You know what?
No.
I agree with that to a certain extent.
Okay.
I feel like black women are going to be black women regardless. So I do agree in the sense of, they don't care because they're going to do them and they're going to be wonderful, beautiful, whatever they are regardless. But in a sense, I think they're tired, obviously, of certain things that the representation and the things that ultimately affect society in regards to them. So that's where they do care. Because of obviously, let's say now what we were saying before, that their children and things like that. Let's say that black woman has a daughter. She has to care because she has to think, okay, in 10, 20 years, how's my daughter going to get raised in the world? And if things like this is happening now, it's going to affect my daughter. Do you see what I mean? So I feel like that's why they end up caring more. Do you get what I mean? Than before.
I'll just come in quickly. Actually, Lilia, then Mo. Were you going to come in? Then we'll go to... Okay, so Lilia, then Kofi. Yeah, so when I say the care, let me say why I say the care. And I think it's just literally touching on that in a sense of the imagery that's been put out there. Is what I mean by... We can't say that do black people care. The black women will care because of the imagery or what this person is trying to put out there, because it is detrimental to black women, or you're definitely attacking black women in that sense. This is what I meant by that.
Black women don't care. Speaking from a black woman who doesn't care, public announcement: black women don't care. I think that black women fall for the bait all the time, and that's the problem. I think that these people know what they're doing. And if black women just ignored it, they'll just get tired. But we don't. We comment, because sometimes when I see things like this on Twitter, I want to comment as well. So I think that's the only part of black women care kind of thing. But we don't care. We are not scapegoats. So you dating somebody, we don't need to know that you only date white people because black women are X, Y, and Z. You know, we shouldn't be the topic of, you know, your love affair with a white woman. That's the only thing that I think that black women will have an opinion on. But, you know, to see somebody turning it around, I think black men care more when it's an interracial relationship and the woman is black. I feel like black men make a lot more comments on that. Absolutely, because I've heard conversations from like my male friends and stuff like that when they see a black girl with a white man. Me, when I see a black man with maybe because it's the norm, maybe because it's the majority.
When you see or when it's posted on social media.
Not just in general.
I have to come in and say.
Because when you see, I understand that, but I guess in respect with what we're saying is that it will be very, and I'm not on social media, so I can't really say this thing, but I'm not sure if there are black women that are posting these type of things to say, this is why I'm not with a black man in this type of way. So I don't know. But just before I finish, I'll let
for me, again, it's from two different perspectives. Because if it's social media, then I reckon black women don't care, but then it gets their back up. If someone's writing a stupid caption like, black women don't care, or black women would never get this. Do you get what I mean? Because it's just provoking. But if let's say a white guy, no, vice versa. If a black man was walking down the road with a white woman and a black woman saw that, she's not gonna think nothing of it. It's just where it is. But when there's nonsense on social media with a stupid caption, then it gets you. It's like anything with a stupid caption on social media. Straight away, as soon as you read it, you think, what kind of nonsense is this? Straight away, it's just a stupid caption. But then bring that into the real world, it's not a problem. It's the norm. It is where it is. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So it's driven from two different perspectives.
Go on, Chris. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, I understand what Lily's saying in the sense of they black women wouldn't care normally, like, and they shouldn't. But with the whole provoking thing, I think the only difference now with social media is, whereas before, that the world might have tried to, or society, I should say, tried to make them scapegoats and try to bash them on social media and that. And they were used to that. Like, they're almost immune to it because obviously growing up, they've been used to like certain things and that. But I think now with all Twitter and Instagram or whatever, social media, I think Twitter gives them that voice where they can, it's not that they care, but they can at least, instead of being quiet, they can now vocalize what they find as issues with it. So they could be like, all right, yeah, I could have just went along, not saying nothing to these posts, but now that I'm a full grown, like now that I'm a full grown adult and I've got my own views and my own voice, and I'm on a platform where someone's just come out and said something wild, I can go against it and show that this is, and I think with that, because a lot more black women started doing that, it became more of the guys or other people would do stuff to try and trigger black women. And like you said, that's the best way to do is just ignore it half the time. But I feel like black women have just said, no, we're not having it no more, basically. And that's the reaction.
So I'll let you come in quickly before I progress this. Do you want to come in as well? Okay, go on more, sorry.
Yeah, no, so I think, for me, from what I've seen in social media sometimes is more, they will portray the, how do I put it?
Call it with the white woman.
Yeah? No. I'm trying to be
say with your chest.
Don't
say it with your chest.
No. It's not even that.
Migrated from the northern the Caucasian mountains.
No, it's not even that. It's more, so you'll get the lower class ratchet black woman or something, that would be clicking their hands and saying nonsense, and they'll have this.
Don't call it lower class. Just say the.
Why does it have to be lower class?
I wouldn't say lower class, but I'll let you finish your point before I say anything.
You want to say ratchet? Yeah.
No.
The one that's grown up in these wild areas. It's not ratchet. Let's say the ones that have grown up.
Alright, I would say more a
hood chick.
Alright, hood chick.
Yeah, that's what you want to try and say. Yeah.
Hood chick or uneducated.
I didn't say
No. The reason why I want to say that
he
is
needs to
Let him say
land.
what
Let
he
him
wants to
land.
say.
Let him
Yeah,
land.
yeah.
Let's let
Let
him
him say
land
what he
first.
wants to say, yeah.
no. What I'm saying is, all right. So you might get, let's say, the hood black female, and they'll have these gifs or something of them clicking their fingers and doing all sorts of madness,
Yeah.
and then attaching that with why they wouldn't go for black
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
what you mean.
Yeah,
I
so
get that.
they're using, let's say, that tiny minority of black women, but using that to generalize most black women.
Yeah.
And I think that is what is the more dangerous side of
Yeah.
all these social media stuff and whatever, is that you'll get this 1 in 1,000, 1 million person, but you're basing that on the general populace of black women in that sense.
And shows like Love and Hip Hop
Exactly, will
have
then
made it
reinforce
10 times
all
worse.
those,
Yeah, because you got these good women like Cardi B doing all types of and people generalize that as standard black women or typical black women.
Yeah.
But also on the back of that, what Lily said was black men find it more difficult when a black woman's dating a white woman. I mean a black man. For me, I don't. To be honest, it's a bit controversial. When I see that, what I think is fetish. You get what I mean? The white guy clearly got a fetish from that he wants to try something different, experience something different, and he's gone with that black woman. And I don't know if I think like that alone, but I've heard a few other people say that as well, that, oh, he's got a fetish for now, it's a kink. You know what I mean?
It's funny. Anyone that views that, they need to listen to episode 21 because we tackled that specific
it's a
issue.
Kink, it's a fetish for them.
That Kofi's talking
Kink
about.
and fetish that they want to experience. And then, that's what I think when I see that.
I think just to so there is a comment that Lilia made that I would just like to go back on quickly. So it's regarding not caring, and when you're seeing this, whether you should comment or not, or we shouldn't even give it that energy. But my question is, should we not give it that energy? Should we not be commenting and make sure these people are checked, because they are putting things out there that, even though, as we're saying, the people that might be educated or the people that know that they're just trying to provoke these type of things, it's still going to be reaching to other people that might not be educated and still might have influenced them. Should we not be checking them on that? Is what I was saying regarding giving it.
I say that we
People should
shouldn't,
comment.
because one of their justifications for dating, non-black women is that black women have big mouths, they talk, they've got attitude and stuff like that. So I feel that by us then sort of, falling for the bait, it sort of just perpetuates their narrative. Look at the attitude, blah, 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 let me do what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So I think the best way is just to ignore. And going back to Mo, what you said about, maybe they see, a few wretched black people and that, where they get it from. I think that's false, because we're not talking about someone who's from the outside. I understand that from someone from the outside, like, a different race, they see what they see on Love and Hip Hop, and then they make up their mind based on what they see on Love and Hip Hop. But a black man, you have a black mother, you have a black aunt, you have a black grandma, what black women are like. So it's not that, it's not that, I'm basing it off of what I see on TV. No, So are you trying to tell me that your mum is ghetto as well then?
But you know what?
No, what I'll add to that is, no. What you got to understand, the dangers of, what you got to understand is the dangers of information being pushed in your visuals and your audio all the time. So it's like Adolf Hitler used to use this whole notion when he was trying to take over Germany, whereby no matter how crazy or ambiguous the lie is, as long as I push it in your face every day, all the time, it's going to become the truth to you. So yes, you'll get all these black people that have this black mum and sister that they know have a lot more sense and don't act in that certain way. But if all the time they're just seeing these same images of this 1% of tiny people and representing them as the whole of black women, they're just going to think that their parents is that unique,
the niche.
Yeah, that niche, but everybody else is that nonsense that is being trashed out and thrown around everywhere. Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but you got to understand the dangers of that information being pushed out so much in people's faces and what they're seeing and reading.
Go on, Chris.
So now, to answer what Kodjo was saying, I was going to say, in the defense thing, I feel that black women shouldn't, what Lily was saying is that they shouldn't come out and say it. I feel that it should be black men come out and check.
I was just going to add that.
For me,
are we not protecting our own now?
Yeah, because I feel like what Lily was saying, the more the black women, because obviously we know what whoever's putting out those kind of posts, they're doing it for a trigger thing, innit? So naturally, there's going to be some women that can't be able to help themselves because they just want to just check whoever, and they've got a right to do that. But obviously, in doing that, they might not be able to obviously control themselves or do it in a productive way, and they end up representing
What are you trying
themselves.
to say?
No, they might go wild, and they might go off paint as well at the same time.
Because they're talking from a passion base,
yeah,
which kind of
and
then
it could be,
loses the whole.
they could just be start, go suck your. Did you get what I'm saying? It's like, alright, bro, we're not even.
No, go and suck on something sweet, innit? That's what you're saying.
Wow! You're an idiot.
There's some
there's a
women that
lot
will pull
of back
like
and
that.
forth,
It's
and
back
then
and
it
Yeah, no,
gets to that.
seriously, though.
Yeah.
It gets to that point where it's like,
Trust me,
literally,
once
it's
they
true.
say something once or twice and the person says
And then it
something
perpetuates, so I
ignorant, because the
understand.
person is ignorant, it's going to be even more triggers, and then they're going to be like, yo, like talking reckless, whatever. But so I feel like they shouldn't engage in it. They shouldn't. But black men, especially if it's from a black man that's come out and thrown out something like that picture. Again, I've always said it should be your own inner circle as well, like your own friends,
definitely.
your own friends, your cousins, whoever. Like, but if they can't do it, the rest of the black men,
some of them think along the same
Yeah,
line.
that's
exactly.
my point. But that's what I'm saying. So if your inner circle can't do it, the rest of the quote unquote that black men on the Twitter world, they should be checking man that as soon as you see that, that's like, yo, bro, what's this all about? Like, why are you talking like this? Because I've seen man that do that, and then I've seen guys that start bantering about it. So I've seen guys that will be like, oh, they'll try and check someone, and then I've seen the original poster go, bro, don't lie like say you ain't seen this, that, like you ain't experienced it, or don't lie, and then the man's like laughing, then, I ain't gonna lie, some of them girls are moving records, but we can't, I'm like, bro, wait, hold on. You've gone from trying to check him to now, and I'm like, bro, and this is what black women are seeing, and they're thinking, bro, like, wait, so hold on, who's holding it down for us? And that's why a lot of them do take it upon themselves to just start checking, man, and they do it like viciously. And I get it, I get the space where because they're thinking, wait, hold on, some of you that are my brothers, some of you that are my cousins, and they know that. I've heard black women say that, like, I've got cousins that think like that. I've got, you know what I mean, brothers, they've got their own brothers and that think like these black men are posting these kind of comments. So in their head, it's like, raw, I'm checking man myself. Like, it's only us that's going to be like standing up for ourselves, because the black men, and clearly statistically, I don't think they're doing enough to regulate.
And I think that's the part where I was just going to add to, where like black men have to do a bit more within, because it's our women that are being perpetuated in that way.
A lot more.
Sorry,
not a bit, a lot more.
You know what it is, to be honest, foolishness is foolishness. So when you see a comment like that, how about no one says anything? That there says more than people jumping in, commenting, leaving 1,000 comments on someone's page. Do you get what I mean?
About the poster,
but why don't black men and black women just not say nothing?
Because it's almost like seeing a child doing something bad and you don't check that child.
That's a full-blown adult.
But then that's what I'm saying. But we are adults, but it's not necessarily that everything that we're doing is right. Like, as a friend, if I do something untoward, you guys should check me, because we are not perfect in that sense. But we're saying if we want to control the narrative, then we can't. These type of people cannot be left to just. I personally feel so anyway. I personally feel like when people are putting something, I do understand the whole conversation about adding fuel to fire and then creating a bigger thing. I totally agree with that. But I also feel that these people cannot go unchecked. I feel like these people need to be told exactly where the viewpoint of black men come from. Because this example, Nicholas checked the guy and said, look, talk for yourself. Leave black women out of it. I feel like that is important to be said.
That's fine.
Do you know what I mean? You can't just have you just
think about it. If
a
black guy posts something wild like that, and then he's got someone from Congo messaging him, who the hell is someone from Congo? Do I care what their opinion is? Do you get what I mean? So your inner friends, that's what I'm saying. Your inner friends checking you doesn't have to be on social media.
It means more.
My inner friend phones me and is like, look, what you posted is really, really wild, and has a conversation with me and makes me see, you know what, that should have been posted. That means 1,000% more to me than someone from Iraq or wherever messaging me saying on Instagram saying that post is wild. I don't care about you. I don't care about your opinion. But do you get what I mean? So it's all depends. Your inner circle should check you, but not social media. If you post something wild, yes, people should just ignore it, because that hurts. These people that are looking for attention, that hurts them more. Clearly, a black boy posting a picture of a white woman and saying black woman will never understand is looking for attention. He's not doing it. So the world is like, yeah, clapping, clap, clap. He's doing it for attention.
But some people in the world are clap though.
But he wants 1,000 comments.
But do you
So
know
just
what?
leave him.
No, it's true. That is probably a solution, but I feel like.
But it's
For
not.
you,
It's not.
like,
In this world, that solution is not going to work because people will.
I feel like if you're gonna be slick and you're talking like that on Twitter, on social media, someone should check you with the same slickness even more and embarrass you.
So a random person.
No. Even your own. Like for me, like you said, the inner circle is that's the most powerful way to do it. I've seen friends check each other. It's rare, but they do it through bantering more time. Like they might banter it and like try and crack jokes on each other. But that person's still showing them like, "Raw, you're wrong in this particular point."
I'll be real.
But it could be more like stuff like trivial stuff like football.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's
That's what I'm saying. But when it comes to something like this, I feel like that guys literally. But again, guys, there's not a lot of guys doing it. The only point I was going to bring up was the whole. I didn't want to do it because the person's on another podcast.
You know what? You see that whole whatever happened with him, his friends handled it in the right way, or his people that he's on the podcast handled it in the right way. You didn't see them sending a long ass caption. You was wrong. They went behind the scenes and more than likely phoned him and told him you're wrong. So I don't want I've known Kojo for however long. Kojo's like my brother. If I posted something wild on social media and Kojo comments with a long caption saying I'm wrong, then that's not really my friend because he's doing it for the culture, for the banter, for the whole social media. If Kojo phones me, I was like, look, Kov, see what you said was wrong, and we talk about it. That there is a proper friend. Not gonna tarnish me on social media or talk rubbish about me or write a long caption. Do you get what I mean?
No, I agree, and that's what I was gonna say. That's why obviously I was bringing him up. But the thing is, that's what you're saying they've done, and that's what they should have done. But from the time when he did release it, nothing was said, and that's what I think it is here. When he released it, was what, we're 2019, he said it was 2012. My thing is, he was talking reckless like that for a couple of years. Do you understand? And that for me, I don't care.
So I guess in that, sorry, go on, finish.
For me, his friends.
Who was checking him? Is
that's
the
my
question
point.
I was going to
and
ask.
the thing is, his friends, like because you saw it.
And why is it now that people are checking him? They should have checked him when you said that.
That's my point.
But then that's the whole point.
But that's the point I'm trying to say.
But then you put.
Sorry.
I want to have your conversation so badly that I keep interrupting you. But no, wait. I need Chris to finish. Coffee. Sorry, I need Chris to finish.
No, so where is it? So when he's come out and said it, for me, it's like, all right, you said what you said, but you see your friends, especially like you've got a media platform. Your friends have seen this. They've seen it the first week. Okay, that's how you feel. The second week, that's how you really feel. Then they just seen it because it was loads. And then they've shown conversations with other people chiming in on those comments. No one once checked him. Matter of fact, they encouraged it. Matter of fact, they tried to do this. Oh, is that how you feel? And then he'll say something, retaliation, laugh. LOL, smiley faces. I'm like, all right, wait, hold on. No one's going to be like, yo, you're talking reckless here. Not even...
Yeah, but... That's the thing though. If we're qualified, need to say the person that should be saying you're talking reckless should be your friend. But I feel like anyone that's viewing that should check you.
Anyone at that
what
point.
do you think you're talking about?
What Kofi's saying is who, if that person will actually take it on.
No, I understand that, but then you know what it is, because a lot of the times, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Ignorance is only with knowledge. It's only by someone saying something to you. No, but then that's the thing though. Intelligent people could be ignorant. Ignorant is not just about because you're intelligent, you need to know everything. I could be saying something off the wall because I don't understand about the Indian culture. The only reason why I understand, if I speak to someone about it and they tell me, so I could put something out there and say, Indian people always stick together because they'll sleep in the house and buy a house or whatever. And someone's like, what are you talking about? That's not my experience. Where did you get that one from? It could be one conversation I've had with someone. So what I'm trying to say here is that we cannot say that because you're educated or because you should know everything. No, you are going to make mistakes. And when you do, what I'm saying here is that clearly from the transcript that you've kind of just described, this conversation was going on for a while. Yeah. So the same thing that we're talking about friends checking you, if your friends all believe in this, then what? Is it just meant to fester? And is it just meant to be that it just keeps carrying on?
That would have been cut off. Like if you've got friends that are stressing
And
you.
I understand the whole idea that, oh, who is this person? By that person, you could learn from that person. That person might give you an example that you've never thought of before. So people could influence you. People that influence you do not have to be your close-knit friends and environment. It could be people from outside as well.
And what he said, sorry, just before Mo, you can come in. What he said wasn't a thing where it needed someone to educate him. What he said was clearly for clickbait. Stuff about, oh, if the Titanic was sinking, women, children, then men, then black women.
But then this is what I'm saying.
That
can't be clickbait. No, but this is what I'm saying. No, Kofi.
That's about you. That's about you just making a joke.
No. But for me, that's not clickbait. That's just ridiculous. Like you can't say. How is that clickbait?
It's
clickbait.
What do you mean? But then this is what I'm saying though. But you share that view though. I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand what clickbait means.
Yeah,
Right?
let me tell you.
But what I'm trying to say here is that this is your view.
Actually, wanted a reaction.
So if you're no. Okay, wait. The thing is, if I want a reaction, sorry. I could. Okay, but then you could admit that to make it sound better now. Wait. Let me finish my point. No. This is what I'm saying. I do not understand this whole thing of clickbait because if it's my viewpoint and I'm putting it out there because I actually believe in it, is that clickbait?
Of course it is.
No,
What do you mean?
it's not.
What do you mean?
No,
Wait.
wait.
No, I haven't finished.
How you put it.
I haven't finished.
Because you might think something,
Yeah.
but how
But
you
then
say
how
it.
I put it,
Wait.
how I put it does not necessarily mean I don't think it. Okay, maybe I sat down and I thought, oh, let me put it this way because it's going to get more attention. It doesn't necessarily mean that's not what I'm trying to say. Or I could actually say how I mean it, but people will think that I'm saying it that way to get clickbait. I don't understand what you guys are saying. What I'm trying to say here is that if you share that view and you've come out for me putting all this clickbait, you've put it out there. It's the view that you share. That's what I'm concerned about. I don't care about this clickbait stuff.
You're just saying.
I'm just saying this is how you think. Whether you've worded it for people to say or not, this is your viewpoint, and I will never stand for that viewpoint. I do not understand that.
What he said, I've seen his statement after. He claimed, and I'm not gonna lie, everyone should be able to see through this. I don't know if you've seen the statement. He claimed he was doing a study.
Yeah,
A social
Alright,
experiment.
bro, when I saw that, I wanted to just.
now you're just
physical-
blocking people.
Now-
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying,
I want
right?
all of that. He said that he did a study, and he
too
basically.
much.
That's what it is. I just wanted to bring up that point.
You
Wait,
are
wait.
getting clickbait for because
Yeah.
we're having a whole podcast that's
No,
supposed
but
to
then-
have something else.
But
talking
then
about something
what
that
is
was written in
clickbait though? Is
2012.
clickbait meant to be detrimental to you? What does
Clickbait
it?
could be anything.
No, but
Yeah,
okay,
no,
okay,
it's
wait.
something
You
that
need
gets
to
the
understand.
purpose
It's like the
behind it.
purpose
What's the
behind it.
intention
What am I
behind
getting
it?
from
People
it?
to
So for instance, for this, to get people to click, but then is it in a positive or negative way? So for it depends. It depends on what you want from it. So for instance, this conversation, the way we've worded it, it is clickbait, right? It is clickbait because I want people to listen to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So my viewpoint of what I want from this is I want you to click and listen to it. So I guess for his standpoint, are we saying that he was doing it in order for people to get fame or whatever fame means to him, right? Because you need to understand the circles that he moves in and the conversations that he's having. This is not necessarily positive for him.
That's 7 years down the
Yeah,
road.
no, but this is what I'm saying though. So this is what I'm saying. When people say clickbait, and that's why I wanted to understand what this means. Because when you're saying clickbait, how is it beneficial to him
He was trying
now?
to get his followers
By
up
any
at the
means
time.
necessary.
Because this is
Yeah.
before he had the platform. So clearly,
Yeah.
this is Twitter where you can get your followers up and get your platform.
And
Exactly.
then
That's
7
what
years
he's
down
trying to
the
do.
7 years down the line, it's come back.
It's
But
now
back
detrimental.
Yeah, and
Back
that's what it
then,
was.
he got his followers up, and he
Yeah.
didn't care how he done it.
He was just getting
He
his
got it.
followers
Do you know
up.
what I mean? Now it's like, oh, black women are queens. How can you disrespect black women?
And also, you have to remember that I don't know if you gentlemen have Twitter or you've had it for
Nope.
for well, I've had it since about 2008.
No, talk about when they started you and one of the one.
Yeah, so conversations like these back then, like 2010, 11, 12, 13, this is what got you the followers. You know, degrading black women,
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
how I was
dark
gonna tie
skinned
it into
women.
it, yeah.
This is what got you the followers
That's
back
what-
then. You know,
and he
you've
said
got
that.
even people like Maya Jama. You know, the whole colorist thing. This is what Kevin Hart talking about black women looking like. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? This is what used to get you the followers then. So in what he was doing, he's saying there's a social experiment, and I don't know, but for me, I find that hard to believe because I think that those are the views that he shared.
Definitely.
But also he knew that exposing it that was going to get him what he wanted, and he didn't. I don't think he falls so sort of like the opportunities that he will now get.
There
You know,
wasn't
in
cancel
2009.
culture then.
Yes,
That's really
yes,
where
there
it
wasn't.
Yeah,
no
but then
culture.
this
That's
is
really
this
what
is
it was.
what it
There
is.
wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one was checking them.
That's what.
No
That's
one
what
was
it was the
checking
norm.
you.
There was
It
no
was the
cancel.
norm.
Yeah,
They're
those
pushing out
times-
these agendas and
And
no
that's
one's
what
checking
he,
you.
and that's why I wanted to tie it back to, because we need to go back to that original point.
Mm.
Obviously, he done it at the detriment of black women, and that's what we're talking about here. I think a lot of men and a lot of people do it at the detriment of black people, black women. Hence why the question arises. You see what I mean? And that's what it is. It's just that a lot of men and a lot of ignorant people are just attacking black women for jokes or for whatever reason they're doing it to bring up themselves. They're doing it as black women are scapegoats. Like literally, like okay, we want to get our followers up. Black women are the easiest targets. We want to get our profile up because
what it is.
and do you know what it is? It's not. It's because one, who's going to defend them? That's the key thing.
So there's no
Because the thing is-
repercussion.
Yeah.
because the thing is, black women defend themselves.
And
Yeah,
then-
it's easy
yeah,
for
you
us to
see?
deflect it.
Yeah.
It's easy for us. Oh, what she's yelling.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
like the
yeah.
Oh, you're the
angry black
That's
woman.
what it is. So we
And the
dismiss-
angry black man at
that's
work,
why it's
isn't
so
it? Like,
we
you
can
know,
dismiss
yeah.
their voice.
Yeah.
Their voice is diminished.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the one who protects them? Black women. I mean, black men. They're too busy fighting amongst themselves to protect the black woman. Do you understand? It's all right, cool. There's no one to protect them. We
could just go at them.
We could just go at them because if you did that with white women, my goodness, white women, not even white men. If you trouble the white woman, especially if you're not part of that race,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
bro,
You got the white man.
You
You
are.
got the
You are
confused black
dead
man.
in the
That's
world.
what I'm saying. You
bro.
got the white man.
You're
You got the
getting
confused
death
black man.
threats.
Yo,
You got the white woman.
DMs.
Could you
and-
say anything about a blonde haired, blue eyed woman and just start going in that, yo, this is what
Move
I
your
hate
mum
white
out the
women.
area. If you do that,
Bro,
move
do you
your
get
mum
what
out
I'm
the
saying? And you
area.
ain't getting a job for like, you see how we're talking about cancel culture? Imagine cancel culture on Twitter, but imagine that in real life. Like, you're cancelled, period. You better go to, I don't know, like,
Go back
go
to
Africa
Africa.
and start, and like, they might champion you there, but you better have your setup there because in the rest of the Western world, it's a wrap for you. And that's the thing that why we have to have these conversations and the whole, like that whole, like what the guy posted and
So I guess
that's wild.
just
I did want to comment on that Tammy Abraham post. Did Tammy Abraham himself actually make any comment? Because I'm assuming he
never
would have
do.
been.
you know with these
They
comments,
never
I'm
do.
not that
They
great.
did.
The footballers
Maybe.
never get involved.
I
But
don't
then
think
coming
he
back to
did. I
what
don't think he
Kofi
did.
was saying in terms of the whole ignoring and having your friends, I think it will speak even more volumes if the person who's being misrepresented in that way
Actually came out
who happens to be black
100%.
and actually said, you know
Yeah.
what, no, I'm not for this.
Yeah.
I'm not for that. I think black
I'm
women
not just
are
with
great,
her.
blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, I think that would help more.
That
in
would be
sense.
a beautiful thing.
Have
Yeah.
you not seen that boxer one? And now we're talking about the
What
footballers.
boxer?
It come out a couple of years ago. I think it was something O'Hara. He's not like a. You might have seen it on Twitter.
that,
It
yeah.
was on Insta when I saw it. It come out with the same type of thing, but he come out and said it himself.
Yeah.
Like he had a video and he was just basically talking about why he's with his white woman and basically why no one should have nothing to say. And do you get what I'm saying? So he basically did what Tammy Abraham, you're saying, should have done, but
Should have
he's
done,
done
yeah.
it to basically champion white women.
Yeah.
So
I
I
Do
saw
you get what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
I
and
saw-
he got backlash.
But what was his
Yeah.
reason for not wanting to be with a black woman?
It was.
No,
I don't
he
even
said
remember.
that-
wait, wait.
No.
Let's
Let's stop,
separate the
let's stop.
conversation.
Because I think it
Let's
gets
separate the
dangerous that
conversation.
all I'm saying is that he should say he doesn't support what is being said, not supporting
Yeah.
his decision for being with a white woman.
Yeah, no,
Because
I
I think those are two separate
Yeah, of
things.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's separate the conversation in that sense, man. Definitely. Well, thanks for dropping that. I think what we need to think though is that, and understand that we've touched on the why, because the why is that why are black men actually perpetuating this imagery though? Because Lilia, you mentioned, you know, you have sisters, your mom that's black. You know, why are we going after like the black woman in that way? Because there's another post, and this is brilliant. I've never been through a thing like this, man. But this one where there's like a video of black women just enjoying themselves on a boat, and then there's a caption saying, "I bet the whole boat stank." LOL. Like, how do you? This is what I'm saying.
Minding
Like,
our
it's
business.
really crazy why people will put such things out there.
He's
Like,
his target group. Literally, he's gonna say something. That's why they do
That's
it. It's
gonna create
literally,
plenty of laughs.
yeah, that's what it is. It's because they know it's plenty of laughs and plus who's really gonna say something. who of merit is going to say something? It's like,
Because he's got
He's got
20.1k.
20.1k likes for that.
do you see what I'm saying? And
But then that even shows. How can you get a like for that?
But people like it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a joke. It's a joke, but then
What? It's a joke?
and,
no,
and
they
a lot
say
of
it's a
it's probably
joke. I don't
black.
think it's funny.
A lot
Oh,
of-
so you're saying it's a
I've
joke
got a lot
because they
of
put
black
LOL?
people
No, because people seem to think it's funny. It's a joke, but I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's amusing. And the simple fact is, I don't think it's funny, so I don't think it's amusing. I wouldn't comment. I wouldn't even like. Do you get what I mean? And that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but how can you like it if you don't think it's funny?
You won't like it if you don't think
If,
it's
if,
funny.
if you don't think it's funny, you're liking it because you share the same
Okay,
views.
but then
This is what I mean.
Me not liking it means I wouldn't comment on it. But then you're gonna get someone. Are you crazy? Are you gonna? You think he cares about that? If someone threatening him, do you think he cares? Do you think that's gonna change him posting that tomorrow? Or someone writing him a long caption saying, "Us black women are proud women. We bathe every day. We bathe 5 times a day." Do you think that's gonna change his perception? He's still going to post silliness like that. So just
But then,
ignore
okay,
him.
no, but then the same way that we say that, yeah, it's almost like you have to imagine that this person is walking down the road and he's got like a bloody thing and shouting this out. This is what social media is
Okay,
like.
difference.
Right, wait. This for me, this is how I kind of see it. Because if he's there shouting this out, and as a black man, I'm walking by and I'm seeing him shouting this out, and I'm like, bruv,
You would have caned him.
what the heck? I should be like, what do you think? Who gives you the right to feel like you could be out here talking like that? Because for how I see it is that anyone could hear them. And on social media, anyone could pick up this post.
But,
Right?
but you cane him because he's a stranger.
I never said okay.
No, no,
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
You might have something to say, yeah, and this ain't you particularly, but some people might have caned him or they might have something to say. But a lot of them guys
out of box
say
still.
nothing to their guys they've grown up with for 15 years that just come out with that question of, this is why I don't go for black women. Do you get what I'm saying? If their friend would have said that right next to them, saying, alright, this is why I don't go for black women on a casual conversation, they won't say nothing to their
Yeah,
friend.
so we're not checking
That's my
ourselves.
point. They're not
Yeah.
checking
And
for
then
friends.
we're letting
But
it
if a
come
stranger
out because we're
walking
not
down the
checking
road
ourselves. Yeah.
screaming out, yo, I don't go for black women because they're ratchet, they're da-da-da-da. You're gonna be like, yo, hold on, that's my mum he's talking about. That's my sister he's talking. Like, you're gonna remember it all of a sudden. Like, rah, why you shouldn't be saying that. But once your
So
friend
we're
next
saying
to
that
you-
social media doesn't hit home as in
No,
when
I
it's
feel-
physically.
You can
I
get
feel like
away with
people
stuff
are
on
pick-
social media
Yeah, and
because
I feel-
there's no
There's
repercussions.
There's no
on social-
repercussions.
there's-
Yeah.
Social media, you could have the smallest
You're not
cowardly
accountable.
person
Yeah.
say the biggest and wildest statement. No one's coming to his house. No one's doing something to him on the road.
No, but
because
then-
no one knows who he is, or people know who he is, but there's no repercussion. Take that same action and take it outside on the roads, and then it's a much different outcome.
I totally
And that's
agree.
why people get
But then
away with
it's
stuff.
like what you're saying, Chris. What I'm trying to say here is that these conversations are being had in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
There are guys that are talking
Trust
about
me,
it.
they're-
So this
yeah.
is not about the guy
Social
that's
media,
sitting
that's
in
what
the
I
corner
would-
and they don't have a voice, so they use social media to do it because these conversations are being had within our
There's man-
communities.
there's man that
So
said
it
that
then
with
goes
their
back to that point of if your friend is saying it and you're not checking them, then it makes sense why it will get to that platform of social
Yeah,
media
of
being
course,
real.
definitely.
Because everyone around them, before they posted, they must have said it so many times.
Trust
Do you know what I mean? Around people that are around them. But people are laughing it off, ha, very
Trust
funny. Oh, it's just a joke. No, it's not. This is what I'm saying, that it's not a joke.
It's not.
Yeah?
It isn't.
Whatever you want to think, for me, it's not a joke. Because the minute that you say it, like, what are you talking about?
No,
Do you know what I mean? So I guess then it goes back into the whole thing because these are conversations are being had in our communities.
Because me myself, I'll openly say it, I've had arguments with friends, acquaintances that have come out and said that comment, and literally, because for me personally, it infuriates me, like when they just saying, because again, for me naturally, when they say it, I'm just like, wait, hold on, you yourself have got the goal to say something like that, and it's like you've forgotten your family, everything, however you've been brought up in that sentence. So they're basing it on girls that they go for. Do you understand? And my thing is, you go for maybe a certain type of woman, and you might have seen a certain type of woman. So because of that, now you're basing the whole race on that, and you're basing everything on that. Do you get what I'm saying? Bruv, you attract what you attract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you to come out and say, like I've just had friends that will come out and say it, and I'm just like going back and forth. Or they'll even get petty in the sense of, let's say now I talk about, let's say I've met a new woman, for example. I'll start off the conversation, and usually like your friends could get excited for you getting like, yeah, man's got a new girl. Yeah, what colour is she? What colour is she? As soon as I mention she's black, what? Oh, what? She's just a black thing. Like literally, like they'll say it like, that's normal, that's expected. That, but as soon as they want to hear something foreign. Like I could tell with this whole Twitter, social media thing. I don't know, with this whole obsession of man want to hear she's mixed with something. She's Arab, Persian, something that's not black. They want to hear Latina. They want to hear some random countries mixed together. Do you get what I'm saying? As long as I'm not saying she is not, and they've said it to me. They said to me like, "Rah, you're boring me now." As soon as you mention she's black, I don't really want to know it. But as soon as if she's foreign, yeah, those are the juicy stories.
Actually, so
that's what I'm
going to come in before I just progress this.
I just wanted to. So we've sort of gathered that that's the general sort of mentality. But my thing is, where does that stem from? I understand what Mo said about television and what we see like on Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that. But I think Love and Hip Hop is only a couple of years old, and it goes back further than that. So I just want to understand where this whole anything is black then is better than black kind of mentality stems from.
Let me share my views of where I think this is coming from. And I think obviously like it's quite funny because everything we talk about on this show, it always goes back down to like the whole racism and the whole slavery and the agenda in the first place. I think we mentioned on the past episodes, the whole white woman idea, the conquest, the trophy, is still part and parcel of some of these conversations. The whole stereotypical view of black women having a viewpoint and sharing their viewpoint, and black women, I can't get away with anything, they're jarring, they're this, they're that. That's also part of that conversation where people say this. But really, it just comes to people that don't know themselves. There's people that can't identify. They have a problem with being black. I feel like it's internalized views that you have of yourself. You know what I mean? Whether it's black inferiority, complex, all these complex that these people are having, and they haven't found a way to deal with it. So they try to perpetuate that on others. They try to push out that agenda.
You just weren't close to your mum. You saw your mum as someone that it's not even that.
No, but sometimes it's not just that. Sometimes even they might have a loving mum and all that type of stuff because they don't check. They subconsciously. Regarding media, what you guys have said before with media, and I feel like the media agenda that was perpetuated and is still being driven, and what the ideal of beauty is when it comes to...
it's like the two doll experiment and the black child gets to pick which doll, and they pick the white doll all the time.
Yeah. Where does that come from?
It's because of what you see, I think. Yeah. I think, it's all subconscious, we're conditioned. The media, you don't see, now it's a little bit different, but especially back in the 80s when the experiment took place, it was just white, people everywhere in the media. White is, right, basically. And so you grow up believing that, even though it might not be expressed, it might be subconscious, but,
subliminal.
You're conditioned to believe that. And I think that you have to be a very aware person growing up to see through it. Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of, even us black women as well, a lot of us, but I think for men as well, a lot of men have not gotten to that position where they kind of are able to, identify.
That's where I want to come in, and I agree with everything you said. And for me, I feel like, and I always say this, not even just in this topic, I feel like at first we might be ignorant to a lot of things that, especially if we all advance at a certain age, like obviously education wise and whatever, but I feel like as we all get to adulthood, we all know a certain level of ignorance in certain things. So like, let's say now with this topic we're talking about, I feel like, let's say now that poster who put something like that up, he knows fully everything, that he's aware, but he chooses not to care. Do you understand? I feel like, I feel like, because you see what it is, there's some people that, let's say now, someone who's ignorant, let's say, is someone who, let's say a black person who might have been brought up in a white neighborhood. All they know is white. They don't know their culture enough. Do you understand? They're ignorant to it because they haven't been educated on that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily their fault. That's just their upbringing. That's their social conditioning. Do you see what I mean? so they're ignorant to it. But these people, half of these guys talking like this, in their households, you go into their actual private life. These are like quote unquote strong African brothers. You get what I'm saying? That strong Caribbean brothers. You get what I'm saying?
They
Strong,
love their
like,
mom.
that's
They
what I'm
respect
saying.
their
In their
sisters.
households, they're eating nothing but African Caribbean food. Like, you see what I'm saying? How they talk everything. They're fully aware of like what's happening in society with how black women are looked. They know this how black women are looked at. They know how the systems work. They know because they're black men themselves, so they know the racism exists. I thought a lot of them do, but I thought a lot of them have chosen to be like, rah, I don't care. I want to make black women this and that, or whatever reason they've got for.
I think
I don't think in that sense it's a conscious choice.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's a conscious choice. Only because the ignorant part of it is that you may be aware of what's going on, but because things don't affect you directly and personally, by nature, you're not really going to have that much association to it or pay attention to it as much. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is literally.
No, that's what I was going to say. Because what I was going to say is that I think I've said it on here already, where when I had a conversation with Sarah and what she said, I understand the black struggle as black people, but as in the women, because there's another subdivision that I didn't understand. That I had to educate myself to understand. So at that time, I would. It's not like I was in woke or I didn't understand what was going on in our community. But I'm not a woman to understand some of the barriers that until I have these conversations, right? But it's just, of course, So it's just to progress this along, though. There was another caption where, because I always feel, and I think for me, I'll owe up to this anyway. So for instance, there was this. There's this panel thing Nicholas shared with me. I forgot the name of it, but they're on YouTube. It's kind of new. And they were talking. So there was a black guy and a black girl, and they had 3 white people with them. Even that guy is a DT from Arsenal Fan TV.
Oh, I know that show.
That show. And they had 2 white women. They had who? That guy. Is it the black guy? What's his name?
World Boss, the Jamaican.
The Jamaican guy, the one that's got the cream. Okay, So he made a comment. So
he puts it on, or has he got?
He's bad. The guy is really one of the worst ignorant. Him having the air to share these type of views is very detrimental. Anyway, but I was just getting on the point that he made, right, where he started having some sort of back and two with the black girl, and then she started saying, "Oh, but you don't even own your hair anyway. Yeah. Your hair's from John." But then this is no. But then this is wait. This is what I'm saying, right? And you don't own your hair. Someone's lost their hair in thing. A horse. There's a horse. It's animal cruelty because there's a horse. And now I don't find that funny, but before I did. And the reason why I'm saying this because even when I was uni, I used to definitely attack black women about this whole hair thing. And I've been one of these things to say, why don't you wear your own hair, whatever, not, because I've always been there. But then on the same panel, there were white women sitting there. White women that are wearing weave. White women that have got their lips done. White women that have got their bum done. But they don't get the same air that this guy was giving to this black woman. Do you know what I mean? So I guess the next part of the conversation I was saying is about all this hair stuff. Are we doing black women injustice when we keep going on about this? Because there is other communities that do all these other things, but we are not giving the same type of thing. Then the same guys will go with a white girl that wears weave, that have liposuction, and not be giving it the same air. It's what I'm trying to say here.
It's crazy.
I feel that black men are doing an injustice to black women because it is not your place to comment. Do not comment on my hair. Black hair is very versatile. You know, I can straighten it, I can Kenro, I can do single plaits, I can put it in an afro, I can wear a weave if I want to. That's one of the beauties of black hair that, you know, our white counterparts do not have. So me deciding to wear my hair in a weave, and it's called a protective hairstyle because actually natural hair is very, very hard to maintain. It's very, very high maintenance.
Getting into grounds that I didn't want to touch.
No, I'll comment on this. So obviously with some of the young girls I've worked with, one, because I brought this conversation up, and one of the elements that she highlighted was that of late in recent times, you'll find that a lot of black females on social media or even on TV are now more kind of highlighting this whole taking your wig off and then talking and stuff like that,
and putting it back on,
yeah,
and
putting it
taking
back on
away the
and stuff like that. And then what she was saying is you don't really ever see that with the white counterparts in that fashion. And so what she found is that's what she was finding black guys would mock her on that element of things, of literally coming into the social club, literally wearing one hair one day, and then the next day completely different hair, looking absolutely different to the point where someone wouldn't recognize you. But then you don't really see that in terms of...
But is that worthy of being mocked? So
I'm not saying whether it's worthy or not, or that. I'm just giving you an aspect that some young girls have found that they've been in, or the conversation that they've had in that sense.
I think it's
I think black men should just not comment on
we're
black women. Don't comment
on
on our hair, don't comment on our makeup,
Do you know
don't
what it
comment
is,
on
though?
what we wear, because...
All it is for me, from what I've seen, and I agree, it's not worthy of being mocked. I think what it is, I think that conversation derived from a certain place. When this is from black men, I can only talk about from black men. I don't know about other people commenting, but from black men, I feel like it's a bit with what Cole said, that how a black man, if this is us being conscious in our own family unit and just, you know what I mean, how we want to represent ourselves. I think black men want to represent themselves in a certain way, and they want their women to be represented in a certain way. Obviously, they don't have a right to say how they want their woman to be represented, but they can make a suggestion. They can.
They can, but...
Yeah, no, they've got that right. No. Obviously, that's individuals, but they've got a right to make a suggestion as your counterpart. That, okay, this is how we want. So what it is, I think it stemmed from a place where the black men wanted their women to wear their natural hair just because of how it represents. Do you get what I mean? They want it to be where you want to be proud and just be happy that, yeah, you've got your hair out there. But now that obviously we're more educated, we know that it's things like protective styles and that there's reasons why you're obviously wearing weave or extensions a lot more.
No. I think I totally disagree.
I
And this is what I'm saying. I totally disagree. The reason why I didn't want to talk about this hair thing is that because if you want to really drill down as to why black women are wearing straight hair or wearing thing, there is definitely, you could go all the way back to America and all this hot comb stuff. So this is what I didn't want to touch on, because I feel like if we want to talk about that, we need a whole episode to talk about that. With a lot of women as well, and I don't feel like it's in my place as a black man to talk about this thing. The only example that I posed was just to say that if you are a black person, or these black people saying this is why I don't date black women, because they could use the same thing, or they wear the hair that they wear is not even them, they got fake hair, makeup or whatever, not where all women do the same thing. So it's not just a black thing. And this is what I'm trying to say. So you can't on one hand say that, oh, a black woman, she's got a weave on, whatever, not. You dare a white woman that will wear weave. So it's like, you can't use that to qualify why you're making certain decisions.
It's a European mindset. Sorry.
So I think we're just going to wrap this up. Cool. We're going to wrap this up because we don't have much time. But anyway, going back into that conversation of that's why I don't date black women. I just feel like these people are very... is very detrimental to the imagery that we need to put out there, especially for the young generation. And the reason why I feel like people need to get checked, because this is imagery that anyone could come across. And normally, when these things kind of happen, people read the comments that other people have left against it. If you give it any air, anyone that will give you any air will most probably read a bit of the comments. And it would be nice that in the comment, someone actually comes and say, what the heck are you talking about? Where is this ideology? And actually challenge some of these things that these people are putting out there. Because I feel like it's so negative that I don't even know what to say about it. This laugh, joke, ha-ha thing, I don't feel like it's funny. And I always feel like, in regards to some of the examples that we've kind of put out there, is that some people don't always have within their closer social circle to check them on certain things that they've done. And I always feel like it is, I wouldn't say it's a responsibility, but I feel like for me, if I'm on social media and I do find some of these things, then I need to share my comment. Whether you're going to take it on board or not, that's fine. But anyone else that's looking at that imagery, at least is going to see what a black man thinks about this thing that you've posted. So I guess that's where I'm coming from on this conversation.
I think in the whole social media aspect of it, in terms of the comments floating around quite a lot, I'm more in the whole catch-22 kind of thing where do you want to add fuel to the fire by commenting and highlighting it? Or do you want to just leave it and then just allow it to continue in that sense? I mean, I do definitely feel if there are individuals using someone else to support a stupid claim, then I definitely feel that individual who's been misrepresented should speak out in regards of for example, the football player Tammy Abraham or whatever, in regards of what position or is it good for my team or whatever and stuff like that. If you personally don't support this image being used against you, then you have to say something, only because to the masses that where you're being quiet, it's seen as if you support something like that. And I would rather they corrected something like that, especially when it's about your own people. Personally, that's what I think. But yeah, in a sense, I'm like I said, I'm in a catch-22 in a sense where I naturally have always just ignored it. But then, I don't know, is that a good thing in that sense?
For me, yeah, to answer that whole question of this is why I don't go for date black women. It's not well answered. The whole thing I think about that is there shouldn't be a reason why you don't date black women. I know that social condition is it's got a lot of men saying whatever they're saying. If you want to try another race or date another race, do what you're gonna do. But again, leave black women out of it, and that's the same vice versa. Just do what you got to do, and black women shouldn't even, like Lydia said, they shouldn't care. Like they should just do what they're gonna do. Black women were there from the beginning of time. They're still gonna be there. So at the end of the day, regardless of whoever's attacking them, they're still going to be strong and beautiful anyway. So just ignore it. Like, it don't even make a difference. And it's true that what Kofi said, in real life, in reality, is one thing, and then what social media is saying. Because I know social media looks one way, but in real life. And I think there's a lot more black people united in real life than what it looks like on social media, and certain things that are getting said on social media. So don't get fooled or get warped by what social media said. Just do you, black women. That's my message to black women anyway. Yeah.
For me, just for the black men, we don't have a problem with who you date whomever you want, have babies, have mixed race babies with whoever you want, let her have nice curly hair, whatever, just not at the detriment of black women. We are here minding our business and we would just like to be left alone. And for the black women, I would say that just ignore. And also one thing I want to say, because I think it's good to go for someone that you like, but it's also good to go for someone who actually likes you. So if a black man doesn't like you, it's fine, move on, go with whomever you want to, and make sure that the like is both ways. So, because a lot of women are like, but you are a man, whatever, how can you talk about us like this? I can't associate with a man who talks about me like this. So, don't just go for someone that you like, but also go for someone who likes you as you are. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, for me, just stop tarnishing black women. Let's be real. They're the mother of civilization. They were the first here, okay? They born the world, pretty much. And Tammy Abraham, no disrespect for calling you Mrs. Average. I didn't mean it in that sense. I was just trying to prove a point. But yeah, as I said, stop tarnishing black women. And just, if you see someone posting something silly, just leave it alone. There's no point you commenting and then getting 100 people talking rubbish to you. Just leave it. Because foolishness is foolishness. So yeah, that's where I stand.
Yeah, and I think, okay, guys, thanks for listening to the LDN Perspective podcast. I think for this kind of thing, we need to just do something unprecedented. I think I echo everything that everyone has said on here. We do love black women, and black women just need to do more to protect black women. Is how we'll leave it. thank you for listening to this episode of the LDN Perspective podcast. Please get in contact with us. We want to create more of an organic platform. So if you have any questions, please check our Instagram page, which is LDN Perspective. You could also reach us on Twitter, Perspective LDN. And please, you could always drop us an email at ldnperspective@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Perspectives, different views, one voice.